At this time, I'm going to introduce Stephanie Borowicz. She's the Republican candidate for the 76th Pennsylvania District.
How's everybody doing? Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here. I am the Republican candidate for the 76th District right here in the heart of central Pennsylvania. I am not a politician. I prayed about this and thought long and hard when somebody came to me and said, would you think about running for state representative? I said, are you crazy? I said, sure, let me pray about it, because that's always the first thing I do. And I prayed about this, and I said, Lord, do you want me to do this? He said, I don't want you to do it, I've called you to do it, because of the times that we're living in this country and what we're seeing unfold in this nation right now. From the federal level all the way down to the state level. And right here we live in the state of independence. This is where freedom started. In fact, in the 76th District, this is where freedom began, at Pine Creek over there. Some brave men came together and said, we will be free. And it's almost that time again for Americans to start putting our feet down, and standing up against the things that are happening in this nation. So that is why I decided to run. It's not so much against Hanna, or against a Hanna name in the area that's well known. For me, there's a bigger picture at stake, and I'm unwilling to stand by and watch that happen to a country that I love and a state that I love. Let me tell you, I've knocked on almost 10,000 doors, and I have learned that this district and this area is God-fearing, hard-working, we're patriotic, we love our guns, and we'll defend all of those things for all those reasons. And that's what I want to represent, the people again. I want to be a representative that represents the people, that represents God in the place of government again, and stands up for those things. We cannot continue down the road we are with current politicians, Republican and Democrats, those that have been in 25, 30 years, that are now just going along with the system and going along with the flow. It's not going to work. We need people in there that are genuine. If anything, people at the door have told me, wow, you're genuine. Is this really, I even had a guy say, is this really you? Like, are you really that person? I said, yes, I am, sir. This is me at my core. So I ask you to stand with me as we take this ride and see where this can go. And I thank you for your support. I thank you for standing by me. And it's time for a change. It's time for a change in this area. And the federal level, all the way down, it's time for a change. And it's time for us as Americans to start taking back freedom. And remember that freedom is about we, the people. So thank you guys so much for having me. I'm excited to answer the questions. Like he said, for some reason my responses were not turned in. So I will, if you guys ask me those questions on the questionnaire, I will answer those to the best of my ability. I love these questions. This is my heart. I've grown up in church, so I feel right at home here. I'm a pastor's wife. My husband's a pastor at a church not far from here. So I feel right at home in this environment. So I'm excited to answer those kinds of questions. And I'll make sure you guys hear from me on those issues. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you all for coming out this evening, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to meet with you and talk about what's important to you and what's important to us as we address this campaign. Let me borrow from Speaker Paul Ryan first and address the elephant in the room. A number of you have asked me about the negative mailers that my opponent has chosen to send out. While I'm not going to stand here and refute each point one by one, I am going to tell you that you can get a step-by-step refutation of every single one of the misstatements and inaccuracies at my website, www.electmikehanna.com. Let me also share with you that those people who look at our voting records and those people who care about these things have looked closely at my record, and they have decided that I'm the one that they've endorsed. People like PA Farmer, people like the Pro-Life Federation, people like the NRA. They've looked at my voting record, they've looked at the questionnaires that both myself and my opponent have filled out, and they decided to endorse me. So I'd ask you, when you're looking at this type of negative attack, that you instead look at the endorsements and instead look at the record. What I want to talk to you today is, much like my opponent, we've been knocking a lot of doors, and what I'm hearing at the doorsteps is that you're most concerned about property tax relief. You want to see us take steps to reduce or eliminate school property taxes. I have a record of doing that. There has been property tax relief, albeit not enough. But both times it happened with my vote. And most recently, and this is one of the reasons why I want to go back to Harrisburg, I championed House Bill 504, a Republican measure that passed with Republican support and my vote, because it will reduce property taxes by as much as $4 billion, school property taxes. And I know that's what's important to you. So I want to work on that, and that's one reason why I want to go back. But you can't talk about property taxes without talking about school funding. I've been a champion of school funding. The prior administration cut over $1 billion from basic education, cut higher education by 20%. I've fought to restore that funding, and with this governor, we've been successful in restoring that funding, and for two very important reasons. First and foremost, because our kids deserve a quality education. It's the foundation on which everything is built. That's the most important reason. But secondly, again, because of property taxes. It will help our school districts keep property taxes down. And I want to mention to you that during that budget crisis, I was one of the few legislators who said, if we don't do a budget on time, I'm not taking my pay. And for 6 months, I did not take my pay until a budget passed, until money flowed to our school districts. And then when it stopped again, I stopped taking my pay again until it passed a second time and money flowed. I believe that's the right thing to do, and that's the type of legislator I am, and that's the type of law that we need to make sure that budgets are done on time. Thank you for being here this evening.